I'm talking about who went beast mode. Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the comments, it was interesting. The press conference seemed to go on and on and on. Now, some people have said on Twitter that he's gone to war with the fans. I want to know, first of all, Fletch, your opinion on what was said. Do you think it was warranted?
Let me tell you, right, as a football commentator, the most defensive group of fans about their team are Manchester City fans. If you go on social media after you've commentated on Manchester City, you are getting it. Win, lose or draw, right? So I know that the City fans are defensive about their team. I don't think the people who booed the other night were the hardcore City supporters. I don't think they were the fans who were at Wembley watching Nicky Weaver save the penalties against Gillingham and followed them into League One. When you're a club that get new money, you get new fans, tourists, as I like to call them. And I think they were people with a slightly skewed idea of what Manchester City should be. Whether they win or whether they lose, you always get entertained by a Pep Guardiola team. So there's no need to boo. And my advice would be, if you're going to boo at half-time of a Manchester City match in that kind of situation, don't go again. Because that's not for you. This sport's not for you. That might be the best club side in Europe. They might win a Champions League this year. They've won 4 championships in, 5 years? They play the best football that we see week on week. And if you're a football fan and you go and boo that, I pity you because you just don't get the game that I love.
Like, not when Liverpool was doing their bits, you know what I'm saying? You know, for 2 years Liverpool matched them. I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah, no, I know that.
I'm just.
But what I would say,
like you.
Bayo, that's a great point. You wouldn't get that here.
You
wouldn't get that.
Listen, I get that. I get it.
But I've got to say, I don't think this is Manchester City fans.
Yeah.
I think this is a section, and I think we've got to be fair on the true traditional City supporters who won't act like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about true City supporters. I know Stephen McKinley. I work with him a lot. I know he's part of a lot of Man City fan groups, supported the club for a long time. This night has unexpectedly become one of the most important nights of Pep's time at City, I reckon. What could have just been a fun, memorable comeback has become something much bigger after Pep's presser comments. He's absolutely gone to war with his own team. It's mad. But then you've also got people saying, listen, the atmosphere was terrible in the first half. And it's hard because it's kind of splitting fans down the middle. Is it right for a manager to come out and say, listen, I need more from you? Or is it his prerogative to say, if we're going to win the league and we are struggling, I need you guys to turn up with me?
I think it's, for me personally, I think as long as he would have said it to his players, not that it's a stroke of genius, I think it's right for him to demand more. I think sometimes, and he said it in an indirect way about saying his teams are flowers, that you can just get complacent. And for him, they've done it time and time before in the sense of riling up his team, riling up the fans. And they will come, and even if it's just, all right, Pep will show you that we're great fans.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. And then
He's
his
demanding
players,
a reaction
from everybody. And it's his same, prior to the game as well, he was saying, look, when we lose, that's me. I didn't do it right. So the same, when they win, he was like, listen, I need more. So war with your own fans.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's war.
I don't know if it's a war with your own fans saying, I need you.
He's kept his side of the bargain. When they took Pep Guardiola and brought him into Manchester City, he made a promise that he'd turn them into a brilliant football team, win trophies, win championships. He's done it. He's not the first manager to say to the supporters, look, I need a little bit more.
Yeah.
All the great ones have done it. And that's his prerogative, because nobody can ever say to him, but you didn't do what you were supposed to do. He's done what he's supposed to do. So if he wants more from anybody else in that club, whether it be somebody in the club's hierarchy, whether it be a player, whether it be his dressing room in general, whether it be the supporters, he's earned the right to say that because he's done everything that he was supposed to do when he went there.
But we've seen Man City kind of do this and spark a reaction. They go 20 games unbeaten.
Exactly.
And they go on and and they need to do that. If they're going to try and catch Arsenal at the top of the table, and who would have thought that Arsenal would be there, they're going to have to do something different, have to do something special, because it seems there has been a slip in performances. Maybe that Haaland hasn't quite shone up post-World Cup.
No, but he scored 22 goals. He's like, and that's they're a different team.
Striker union here.
Like,
Strikers union.
no,
Strikers
listen,
union.
Hold on. He scored, it could be 23.
Chairman Bayo.
He's trying to get a job at Chelsea in the first part of the show.
Hey, I'm a Liverpool man to the core. Stop that. No, but he scored 20. Listen, I get that they're a different team with him in there. I guess they may say they're less fluent in that. But a striker's there to score goals. He scored 22 goals. But what I also want to just flip back on the Pep, you know, as a player, when you're hearing something and like, well, if we turn up like this, Arsenal's going to destroy us.
Yeah.
You know, he's flipping it back to Arsenal in the sense where Arsenal ain't been in this position in
And
a
suddenly
long
the
time.
pressure, he's piling pressure onto that.
He's clever in what he's doing. So, and that's all. That's not just these fans, these players. Also, that they know they're trying to run down Arsenal. So, for me, it was a stroke of genius in how he did it.
I think in terms of the way they play and what they are, I asked the question right at the start of the season, would they be better with Erling Haaland or would they be different with Erling Haaland? Because it's hard to be better when you get 100 points and score 100 goals.
1,000%,
You're just going to try and win the trophies in a different way.
Yeah.
And this may be a season where they're just working out how best to use him. Kevin De Bruyne's game has changed. Other players' games have changed. If you look at the numbers around the squad, De Bruyne got 13 goals, I think, last season. He's nowhere near that yet. So he's had to modify what he does. Mahrez is on a streak at the minute, but his goal total is down. So they're scoring as many goals, but one individual scoring them instead of the collective. So this might just be a season where they're just working things out, working how best to utilise him. And if he sticks his leg out in the Champions League final with 5 minutes to go on the edge of the 6-yard box, whatever he cost, whatever he did, however they got there, that's a big success because that's what he's there for.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know. You guys obviously been in change rooms and it's hard. The complacency thing. It's hard for me to really understand. But if you do win 4 and 5, like look at what Obi's tweeted here. I said I think he was making a statement that certain big players have gotten complacent, which is something he definitely cannot agree with. The fight, the vigor is what he's looking for. Can you be in a dressing room and you've won 4 out of 5 and you think it's easy and go, do you know what? Maybe I don't need to put it in 110%.
Nobody as a player, and it's not even they're the elite players.
Yeah.
But none of them go in thinking, oh yeah, we're just going to stroll. You know what I'm saying? But complacency just walks in any walk of life, in the sense where it just becomes repetitive. And City used to beat teams before they even.
I'm struggling with this. Look, not what you say.
Okay.
I'm struggling with this notion
that they are
there's.
complacent.
Did anybody see the second half?
No. But you know what it is. And that's the reason why. So you saw the first half to the second half, and the first half.
But why are people
different
asking
team.
the question?
No. It was, if I recall correctly, he's saying that complacency may fold in. So he had to go and say, look, if you don't put in the work, your talent means nothing. And that sometimes just needs to be reinforced. So that's why at halftime, managers come in and say, listen, look, if you don't run around, your talent's only going to get you so far. And that's sometimes what seeps in.
But
And
we've seen this before with City. City have been behind in games before.
Yeah.
And then the minute they get the equaliser, cue the avalanche, we all sit back and we go, well, that's that then. And did anybody in the room really think the minute they got one back and made it 2-1 that they wouldn't go and win the game? I got Tottenham fans who are my mates messaging me at half-time say, I've just had a cheeky tenner on City because I know what's going to happen if they get a goal back. And everybody could see that was going to come because they're such a good team. When they've got that scent of blood in the nostrils, there's no better team in the world to take the opposition apart than Manchester City. I find these questions bizarre about.
This is football, you know what I mean?
You ask it because I guess, you know what it is? I guess Pep may be feeling like, I shouldn't have to rollick you. And I'm not saying he did. We don't know the change of him. So maybe he's like, well, why do I have to come in and tell you, man, you lot are as good? Like, you should be able to keep this level. And you saw it. The 3 players were warming up. And he didn't make a change for that. They got one, and then you saw it. I remember just saying, game's done now for Tottenham when they got that one, and that's just what it was. So, not in a bad way. That's how it was.
Let me ask you this, right? Can you ever remember an inquest like this after a 4-2 home win by a team in the Premier League?
But that's why he's a genius.
Of course.